Sip of coffee. That's how we start our day. Coffee and then the world. Hey, thank you for tuning in with me today. Let's talk right about Realtors Q&A. Real estate and marketing worlds, our worlds collide, and we are always trying to find ways to make it better and more effective for all of you. So thank you for joining me this morning. Just give me 1 minute here. So we have a bunch of different topics, that we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the best way to find leads when the listing is sitting, especially in the shifting market right now, and what agents are posting on Facebook. So these are our 3 topics that we're going to cover today. Before we dive in, being a realtor is a lot like being an entrepreneur, right? And you have to do it all. And since what we think about is what we become, there's often a battling of the mind that's going on. At least it happens for me. And I came across this scripture verse this week, and I just wanted to share it with you to kind of get your mind centered on the right things. It's Romans 12:2. It says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what the will of God and what is good and what is acceptable and perfect." Renewing your mind on things can always help you set up the outcome of what your goals are. So I want to just start with that before we dig into our time today. So let's dive in. Let's talk about finding ways for leads. If you're not cold calling, what's the best way that you have found leads? And if you're with me here and you have questions, please feel free. We are streaming live to our group, so please feel free to drop a note in there. Give me 1 second before we start. I want to just share this into our group. If you are not already part of our real estate group of how to launch a Facebook page and generate leads, we are live. So please feel free to check out my group for free. We are trying to post informative content and help realtors, especially emerging the real estate and marketing worlds. So if you do have any comments, please feel free to comment below, and we will dig into it. So as I mentioned before, in terms of my background, I've been doing marketing, especially on Facebook, for the last 15 years. For the last year, I've actually been working for a real estate marketing network, helping them with their podcast, social media, working with real estate coaches. And so this past week, I kind of take my insights of the things that I've learned and decided, I want to share this with my group, with people who are following me right now, because a lot of changes are happening in the market. So I think it's important that we cover those things. And so the topic that we're, again, talking about today is, what are the best way to find leads? If you're not cold calling, what are you doing? So some of the agents that I have heard are talking about open houses. They are still one of the best ways to be able to attract leads. The question is, how do you convert open house leads? So some agents that I've been looking at, talking to, and seeing what they're doing, they say some of them, they put them into an automatic drip email through their MLS. And so when one pops up that they favorite, then the agent reach out and sets a showing. If one pops up and they like and they don't have an agent, they usually, will respond to an email, and the agent can kind of go from there. So there's a lot to be said in terms of being able to have an open house, attract a certain kind of buyer. That what it is that they're looking for, in terms of price range or bedrooms or square footage, if you have all the same people that are coming in. And so being able to store that information on a database where a typical buying behavior will allow you to be able to do an awesome follow-up drip campaign. Other agents have said 80% of my clients are coming from Facebook, and the other 20 are coming from referrals, and they stay very active in the Facebook groups. So one of the cool things about having a Facebook business page is creating that professionalism, that credibility, standing out. People are searching for you, and a lot of these leads are coming from Facebook without having to do as much work as everyone thinks. First-time home buyers, classes, and such. Another agent said he's willing to travel about an hour in any direction, so that it opens up a lot of opportunity. has also mentioned that moms groups on Facebook. So Facebook has groups that you can take your page or your personal page and you can like into these different groups. And when you share informative relative content, it brings visibility basically to your business page. And so this agent that I was talking to said they get a lot also when you just get out into the community, right? So you're out in the community and again, you're showing yourself as an authority and credibility. It's also another great way to attract leads. And then another agent, just in conversation, social media. Have you set up your profile and give free value to your audience about your market, your houses, your area? So when you have a Facebook business page, you have a platform to be able to, give free advice and attract people basically to your page. The first goal, this agent was telling me, was to capture their name, their phone, and their email, right, through your local lead ad or on social media. The second is you want to nurture and qualify that lead through a specific criteria that you might have. So this is part of that sales conversion part. And then third is that you want to be contacting a potential lead after qualifying them through a call to get an appointment booked. And so all of this process speaks to having landing pages and to have an email capture of some kind so that you can follow up properly with these potential leads, whether it's social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's open houses, however it is that you are showcasing this. I have created actually a real estate listing and email capture page with a link, so I'd be happy to drop that below this video and also in our group below. Our next topic, when the sitting is listing, or when the listing is sitting. Your listing, you've listed it, it's sitting there for a while. Is your listing with the days on market, is that scaring off buyers right now? People are starting to pay close attention to this whole days on market. If it's on too many days, it can seem less desirable to some buyers, but you still have a lot of options. Some research has said that the typical home spends an average of 42 days on the market. Now, this can vary a lot depending on where you live or how competitive the housing market is in your area and how desirable the home is that you're showing, right? So what do you do if your home is languishing, this listing? So here were some takeaways that I got this week. You could withdraw and relist. So when the property goes off the market and then on the market as a new listing, it gets pushed out to everyone whose notifications were set to receive those updates when a new property is listed in a certain area. But before you reset that listing, maybe it might be a good idea to maybe do some improvements. So see if you can make a difference in the cosmetics, like paint or flooring, some different staging, landscaping. These were just some suggestions and takeaways I got. And then take even better photos to show off that listing to its full advantage. So that's something that you could do if you have a listing that's sitting more than 30, 60 days right now. Another option is that maybe you could think about lowering the price. Many days on the market might suggest, was it priced correctly? Maybe the price was fine 2 weeks before it was listed, but then, obviously a fluctuation. And once the house actually went on the market, maybe there was a change. You could ride out, these high days on the market metric and just hope that the right buyer comes along. That's another option. But whatever you decide, just make sure that you stay ahead of the game. That's kind of the key thing. So those are just some suggestions if you've got some listings that are kind of lagging or on the market and you're wanting to move them. And then finally, what are agents posting on Facebook? I come across a lot of different articles. I found this one by NYB Creative. And it talks about this. 69% of real estate agents are using Facebook for business purposes. It's a perfect online environment right now to be able to find leads and network. It's a free platform. So if you're not using it, you're really missing out. Half are finding the home that they purchased on the internet. So creating a presence on the Facebook is really kind of a requirement for real estate agents today. So if you do not have a Facebook business page, please consider checking out my course. I will show you how you can set it up so it's optimized, so you can be found in search engines. I will show you how to make it look professional, how to create your brand, and I will show you how to turn on Facebook business pages so that it creates all of these automations for you and helps save you a lot of time. So if you are not sure how to do that, you want to check out my course below. So it's impressive. So 63% are using video marketing. This is what agents are using on social media and what they're posting, right? And that's actually more than most industries. The good thing about video, when you're using that in your social media, whatever platform it is that you're using, is that it stops the scrolling, right? And it creates more engagement with your audience. Property listings are also a very popular choice with agents in terms of what they're posting. A great way to do that, especially if you're using Facebook platform, is actually to create an event and post the information in there, and then be able to share that content from your page into groups or onto your personal page. So they're just some great tips for you. So a lot of realtors kind of shy away from Facebook marketing because organically the reach, it's not really making an impact. It's not bringing in a leads list. So the question is really like, are you posting the right kind of content? And so it's really important to understand who your audience is. Yes, there are buyers. Yes, there are sellers. There's FSBO, there's downsizing. There's all different kinds of groups of people, but you can't just be part of the entire targeting audience, right? So my suggestion to you is you might want to consider tailoring down a specific group, especially if you're using a social media platform. Maybe you just focus on buyers or just focus on downsizing or relocation or whatever your specialty is that helps you differentiate yourself from all the other realtors in the market right now. So if you can tailor it down to one group, the thought here is that it's better to have like 100 people engaged with you on your Facebook page than have like 10,000 followers that never really need your service, right? So those are just a couple of different tips. In terms of posting content, you want to offer your audience something rather than just throwing content up every day. So one way that you can boost some organic reach is to post albums of your listings, right? And this gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to click through. So Facebook has a great way to do it. You can create albums on there. You can post a multiple, and that way when people come there, they kind of get a sense of your specialty and what it is that you focus on, including maybe some hot listings that you might have at that moment. So an album might be another way to kind of show off all your listings. And then of course, share success stories. You know, one of the best things that people love stories. So tell the story of the buyer or seller that you have helped and the way in which you have helped them and how it's changed their life. People love meaningful stories. And better yet, here's another tip. If they're really that happy with you, get them to post their sold picture on their own personal Facebook page or social media and tag you. What a great way to be able to do cross promotion, and what a great testimonial really for you. Of course, not everyone's going to want to do that, but if you have a good relationship and they know that they want to help you and help you get more referrals, it's just something else that you could do. Do-it-yourself posts as another suggestion for realtors on what to post on social media or Facebook. Do-it-yourself posts are great for engaging new leads and also past clients. So don't just drop a link, kind of show a process, you know, like maybe you refinished a bathroom or you did an upgrade, you know, show the process, show them the mistakes to avoid. Again, all of this makes you look like a credible agent and also to have some authority. Become a local expert. You know, share some relevant article about a local journalist or something local that happened in your paper, post about local events. It kind of shows and gives you kind of that social proof about how you as a realtor are involved in your community. You got to stand out from your competition. You know, is there really exclusive listings anymore? I mean, you need to be able to offer more value. Create an exclusive group on your Facebook page where members can talk about local events and happenings. You could host a home buying webinar on Facebook Live. So let's say you have a Facebook page, you could go live, you could share it to your personal page, and you could just do what I'm doing right now, you know, a 5 to 10 minute little webinar on how to be really effective in home buying market today. You know, again, video is a great way to stop the news feed and create engagement. So those are some tips for you today about what some agents are posting on Facebook, why they're using it. And if there's a lot of benefits to a Facebook page, do you have one? Do you want yours to work better so that you can get quality leads? Did you know that Google actually indexes Facebook pages? So just the fact that you have it up, Google is able to kind of do search and find your name. So in my course, I share how you can do all this again with built-in tools, create your brand, create the call to actions, get potential leads reaching out to you, and make sure that your Facebook page is optimized. You don't want to miss that. So thanks again for tuning in this week, and we will check out and see you next week.